What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we have a bit of a different one. So those champions that you will see here are currently not 7 stars, and basically I picked 4 different categories to fit them in and see how likely it is they become 7 stars. So we have the might never become 7 stars category, we have the will become 7 stars but not anytime soon, then will become 7 stars fairly soon, and then they can come out tomorrow. So we're gonna start from the bottom here. So also quick reminder here, this is not every single 6 star that is not 7 star currently. It's just some the ones that I thought would be very cool to have as 7 stars, and some would be really fun to get as 7 stars. So we have Gladiator Hulk here. I just watched Nagase's video about him as 6 star ascended with a bit of synergies. He's very cool. The fact that he can do, Dark Phoenix really well, Onslaught and some BS direct damage. I think a bit of a rework would make him very, very solid. But if they want to release him without updating his abilities, he can literally become a 7 star right now. He would not be broken, but he would be useful. Now, Miles Morales is one of my personal favorites. I think he is very fun to use. One of my favorite buffs a champion has ever received. You get those intercept challenges, the parries, the decks, and all that stuff. Very fun champion to use. A lot of damage, but he ideally needs the 6-200. So now would be a good time where we have a few more 6-stones running around for him to actually come in the game. Hopefully anytime soon, because he's super fun. Moving on to Wasp here, another champion that's actually pretty underrated. And as a 7 star, I think she would be a nuke because she has the guaranteed crits. She has that, 4 hit into heavy attack, which does a lot of damage. She is a bit of an annoying defender as well if she's 6-200 because she evades a lot. And with certain nodes, she can be even more annoying. So Wasp, honestly, pretty decent and underrated champion. Now, Karnak is another one of my personal favorites. I think if he comes out literally tomorrow as a 7 star, nothing would change. He's not really going to get used that much. Ideally, this champion needs to get buffed a little bit more. But he is very strong for some invade metas that we have in BGs. And he has a pretty easy access to a true strike, which can help you with a lot of those auto block or evade champions. And my favorite thing about him is the awaken ability, where you can just hit the opponent to the block and actually generate more power than you would if you were hitting the opponent. Now, Rogue is another interesting character. The only one that I've seen using Rogue is Suida on his Alliance for videos. And she does some very cool things. I would love to see a 7 star Rogue. Annihilus would be a bit of an annoying defender. I'm not sure if I actually want to see him as a 7 star because he would probably destroy me. But I think he might be a little bit underrated on attack as well. And without Absorber Man, this guy would actually be a problem. We got Heimdall. Would be very nice to have him because he's not going to get used that much, let's be honest. But he would be very nice to have on the team just for, the synergy when there's 7 star locked quests. Clairvoyant might be my #1 most wanted 7 star in the game. However, now the hype probably fell off a little bit for me because of Nico Minoru, because she's literally the better version of Claire. She has more damage. She has the buff immunity that literally starts the fight with, and it's so easy to just keep it refreshed. The only thing that she doesn't have, or the only thing that Claire has more and Nico doesn't, is basically immunities. But to be honest, Nico is just 10 times better than Claire. So kind of killed off the hype, but I would still like to see Claire. Then we got Mephisto. This guy, man, again, I'm not sure if I want to see this guy because he would be a menace. Even as a 6 star sometimes, he is crazy against 7 star rank 4s because there's not many direct counters to him. And a 6-200 7 star rank 4 would be a monster to fight, but I would like to see him. Now, moving on to the other list here, we got will become 7 stars fairly soon. So those champions, Kabam has to think a little bit before they release them. So we got Electro. I think Electro could definitely destroy us if he becomes a 7 star with more health pool, because without a counter sometimes, you're just going to take a lot of damage. Might be a bit of an annoying Alliance War defender as well. Then Cassie Lang, I think she's a very strong champion, but with how the AI works, I'm not putting her in the other tiers, because I think she can be easily countered and the AI can mess you up a lot. But she has a lot of strong utility. The buff immune, the shock and poison immunity are very, very nice. Then we got Kingpin. A lot of people want to see Kingpin. Personally, I wouldn't mind Kingpin, but I'm not going crazy over it. But he does have some really solid utility, good damage, especially when the opponent shrugs off debuffs. Then Stelsus Spider-Man. So I was debating putting this guy but not anytime soon, because he's actually very, very strong. His damage is insane. Very easy access to slow and just crits a lot, dude. A 7 star with stat focus would actually go crazy. I would like to see that. Then Toad is another champion that I would love to see because he's kind of like a dual threat. And I think as a 7 star, he would be much, much better defender with more HP, and his Sig ability where he can stun you literally anytime. And yeah, I feel like he would be a very strong offensive champ as well. Very good for Nick Fury. You know, you can cheese his second life if you get lucky and, you know, prepare well. But yeah, I would love to see a Toad. Then 7-star Nimrod, very nice champion as well. He might struggle a little bit towards, you know, the mutants lately. You know, Dust, Onslaught, Bishop, but he can still take even some champions that are not mutants. I would say he's definitely, you know, twice as fast against mutants, but I think he's a very strong defender as well. And even just being a defender, and Nimrod as a 7-star would be super, super difficult to kill. Then Ronan would be nice to have for, you know, the 7-star locked paths, just to cheese some of those bosses. I think he would be a really nice addition to our rosters. And then Dr. Doom. So Dr. Doom, I feel like he's not going to be as overpowered if he releases right now. And I would love to see him because a lot of people want him. And I think he is going to be very strong, but I don't think he's going to be as strong as the upper tier. So I would love to see 7-star Doom. Then we move to they will become 7-stars, but not anytime soon. Starting off with Scorpion. A monster. He's definitely like the best science champion if he becomes a 7-star right now. And yeah, just so many immunities, the healing, the power sting damage, the synergies. He's got like some broken synergies and he's just a monster. Or maybe I used them in like one path in 9.3 and he destroyed it. He did it better than like 7-star rank 4s with his synergies. And then we have Aegon. Aegon and Kate Bishop kind of go together because they're, you know, crazy good for long form content. And I don't know what plans Kabam has for like long form content now after Necropolis, but I would say they are afraid of Aegon for sure. He's literally just, you know, the king of long form content, and he's just, I don't think he's becoming a 7-star anytime soon. Kate Bishop, broken as well, but I think she will become a 7-star at some point. I wouldn't put her in like the never become a 7-star because you can kind of like easily counter her if you put like someone that's, you know, cold type immune. And yeah, she just needs a little bit more time to ramp up if there's cold type immunity or resistance. Now we got Valkyrie. I think she's a very, very strong champion. Probably like kind of like Karnak, but like 10 times better because more damage and just a lot more utility. You know, she can be stun immune, she can ignore, you know, unstoppable very quickly, and the damage of the special 2 is very, very strong. Valkyrie would actually be sick. Hopefully they actually release her in like the near future. And then we got Archangel. I would say this guy would not be super overpowered if he gets released right now, but I think Kabam is kind of afraid of him because he just destroys even, you know, some nodes. So yeah, he might be a little bit overpowered. And then we got Red Magneto. I personally think this champion is insane, even as a 6-star. He just counters a lot of those metal champions. We literally like get metal champions pretty much every 3 months or something. And yeah, he just destroys them unless they are immune to ability accuracy, which most of them are like, you know, tech champions. But the ones that you can reduce their ability accuracy, get them magnetize, you can destroy them even if you have class disadvantage because he kind of like removes the class disadvantage when fighting a tech champion. Then we have Ghost. I don't think personally Ghost is going to be very problematic in BGs if she gets released, but she's going to be insanely strong in Alliance War, competitive, and yeah, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Then Hulkling would be absolutely broken in pretty much any game mode. I don't think he's going to be as broken as the other 4, but I don't see him coming anytime soon. And then Absorbing Man, I would put Absorbing Man in the never become 7-star, but because he is kind of a champion that you need to know what you're doing and he needs a lot of skill, I put him on the not anytime soon list, but he is going to be super overpowered if he becomes a 7-star. And then lastly, we have the might never become 7-star. So obviously we have Quake. She's not even a 6-star, so I don't know about 7-stars, man. I feel like eventually they're probably going to change her kit, nerf her a little bit, and she will become a 7-star. But as of right now, it's not happening. And then we got Kitty Pryde, super overpowered with the stat focus and more crits. She would actually be brought back to life because 6-star is really struggling to crit against those 7-stars with a challenger rating. But a 7-star with challenger rating and stat focus crit would actually go crazy, and then maybe even some statcast relics as well. So yeah, Kitty Pryde just super, super strong. And then we got CGR, probably the craziest damage in the entire game. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Maybe never, to be honest. Like genuinely, I feel like this champion is like the most busted out of those 4 we got on the list because of how quick he does damage and he just destroy the opponents without even baiting specials. And then we have the king of the contest, Hercules. So yeah, I don't think I need to, you know, say much about Hercules. He is pretty overpowered with his immortality, can cheese a lot of fights, a lot of quests. and he honestly would be a really good BG attacker and defender if he becomes a 7-star, because 1 special 2 will probably kill anything, especially with stat focus. And then as a defender, he's going to be a really good staller and sometimes maybe annoying with the stun immunity. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this list. Would you actually change up some of those champions? Maybe you put, like, let's say Ghost and they might never become a 7-star. Let me know what you guys would do. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.